SuperHOT is the most innovative shooter I've played in years. You've heard of this game, right? Even if you haven't played it? I feel invincible right now. SuperHOT started out as a project for a 7-day FPS jam back in 2013. Just a team of people who shared the dream of creating a video game. They worked, no joke, day and night for an entire week in order to bring it to fruition.
I wish I had that kind of time.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names, it will make everyone sad. In an interview with Gamasutra, it was revealed that their unique time moves when you move mechanic wasn't actually their idea originally. Yeah, but who cares if it's not actually their idea, right? Like, I stole this script from somebody, and they haven't hunted me down yet.
FBI, open up!
That reminds me, I have guests coming over. The mechanic was inspired by an old Flash game called Time for Cats. It's a simple high-score based game about the most powerful cat to ever exist trying to eat. You gotta avoid those pesky humans running all over the place while you steal the food that they drop.
I guess the SuperHOT team was like,
dude, I need ideas! What's more exciting than a cat? That's tough. Have you seen that movie John Wick? No, it's not even out yet. Well, I'm from the future, and I can confirm that you should make a video game based on it.
That's just a guess. There are other possibilities, I just feel like that's the most likely one.
Long story short, they turned it into a first-person shooter. After they gained some notoriety, they opened up a Kickstarter to get funding to expand it into a full game. They met their goal within a day and went on to raise nearly $250,000. And as we all know, it became a full game. Get to the gameplay! I've died 3 times already! To a certain extent, we've already discussed what the game is like. We've got our main mechanic, which the game is centered around. But to me, that's not even the most interesting thing about it, because the story is so weird and insane and terrifying that I barely even understand it. Here's my take on it, and oh, spoiler warning, skip to the timestamp on screen if you want to see the rest of the video without any story spoilers. So you get this game from your friend, who says it's awesome.
Some might say this game is super hot, as in a hot topic? Okay, I'll see myself out.
You start playing it and instantly become addicted. Occasionally, the game kicks you out, but you always start playing again. You, in real life, can close the game, and I wish it did something cool to the story, like having your character resist the urge of the game, but unfortunately, it doesn't.
Here's where it gets weird.
You go to the real-life home of your character, in the video game, and punch yourself in the head. Next thing you know, you wake up with a concussion.
I told you it was weird.
Somebody makes you promise to stop playing the game, but you don't listen, continuing to beat levels as the chat segments get weirder and darker. And after beating the final level, you find yourself in a room like before, with nothing but the gun in your hand.
Sometimes I feel like this is a horror game, not the inventive puzzle FPS it's made itself out to be.
But what does this story mean, exactly? Well, here's my take on it.
Get off your phone and destroy all electronics because they're evil and want to take over your brain!
Just a guess, though. Obviously, the first prototype made in the game jam didn't have any sort of story attached to it, and was just meant to show off the neat mechanic they thought of. It had a lot of other differences too, primarily with the enemies. We can see this both with the original gameplay trailer and the free prototype you can play on their website.
There's a free prototype? I don't need this anymore!
The enemies are less crystalline and more human looking, and instead of exploding into shards when hit, blood comes out. It's not very realistic or anything, but it was a bit jarring to see after playing through the game and then seeing blood in the prototype.
It's like Borderlands. Disgusting.
The official release of SuperHOT was in February 2016, but later that year, in December, another version released, which in my opinion is the definitive version of the game.
Danny, what are you doing? It's not even plugged in.
Huh?
SuperHOT VR is one of the coolest experiences known to man. All the levels are completely different, so you don't even need to worry about repeating content. If you have any sort of headset, definitely get the VR version. It's the exact same experience, but about 5 times better. Unless you get motion sickness. Reaching around to grab the things in slow motion, actually blocking and slicing through bullets, and throwing items all just feels so real. It even has an altered story, but I won't spoil that one for you. SuperHOT Mind Control Elite started out as simply a free DLC that the developers planned to add to the base game, but quickly morphed into its own thing. And while it's not as good as SuperHOT VR, it's definitely better than the original. There are so many new gameplay mechanics, special powers called hacks, and new weapons like pens.
No, I'm not joking. The pen is literally mightier than the sword.
The only thing you really lose in this game is the story. I haven't played all the way through yet, but it does away with the text conversations from the original and focuses on expanding its already spectacular mechanic. So if you don't care about a story and just want to feel like the coolest action hero ever, Mind Control Elite is the way to go.
John Wick.
One of the other cool things about MCD is that the levels aren't the same each time. Enemy placement and weapons are different every time, which helps it feel different if you fail and retry the level. Overall, better than the original in my opinion.
Innovation!
Overall, SuperHOT is a great game series, and an excellent example of a breakout indie game. I definitely advise you to give it a go if at all possible.
Once again, I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe, and comment. It's all free, I promise! Check out some of my other videos right here, and remember to give me any suggestions for videos you'd like to see. This is Danny, signing off for now. Goodbye.